World trees are massive trees that tower over everything around it, often found in a dense forest or a grassy field. It is so big that it can be seen from extremely far away. This concept has been present in various cultures throughout history and has been referred to by names such as Yggdrasil, the Axis Mundi, and the Tree of Life. It is also a popular recurring theme in video games. The world tree is often used as a symbol for a deity or a force for good in stories. It is seen as a neutral and impersonal force that maintains balance and harmony in the world, or even a promise given by one character to another. One of the most recent and notable concepts of a world tree would be from the game Elden Ring. The Erd tree is a massive, glowing, golden tree that can be seen from anywhere on the map. It is so tall that the highest mountains only reach up to its lowest branches. Per the lore, people consider the Erd tree to be a divine being and believe it is the source of all life and where all life eventually returns. World trees have a big presence within Japanese role-playing games. They can host key items for the main story, such as the Guardian Tree in Final Fantasy V, or the Mila Tree in Fire Emblem Awakening. There are games where the central point of the story is to protect the tree itself. The Tales series, too, has a central story around not only protecting world trees, but also reviving them. Strangely enough, some games, primarily ones set in the future, use world trees as a repository for information. There is a divine tree that, unknown to its worshippers, contains century-old memories that date before the cataclysm. Similarly, the game Genshin Impact has Irminsul. In other games that take place in the future, a connection between the world tree and space is made. In Etrian Odyssey, the Drowned City, the Yggdrasil tree is not from Earth, but came from space to hunt down Eldritch Abomination. In most Western games, the world tree is associated with elves living in them. This can take various forms, such as actually living inside the tree itself. In the Warcraft franchise, there are several world trees, which was grown in an attempt by the Night Elves to regain their immortality, but it was sabotaged by a corrupted druid and eventually burned down by the Horde. Although they play a minimal role in the story, there are some non-elf inhabited world trees in Western games. One of the oldest, if not the oldest games to show a world tree is Faxanadu, which is set on the world tree itself. Dark Souls has the Great Hollow, is a massive tree entered in the swamps of Blighttown. In Dragon Quest IV, players must climb it to retrieve the Zenithian sword. There are some games that only appear as a visual element, with no significant role in the story. In its current state, the world tree within Valheim offers a minimal backstory and no function in the game. The same could be said for Hellblade. There have been subtler appearances of world trees, with it not being explicitly said and only leaving hints, leaving players to draw their own conclusion. Persona 4. Heroes witness the purified heart of mankind, a paradise with a tree in the center. There are a few games that feature world tree as a utility. It is used as a form of transportation. Kratos travels 9 realms with the Bifrost. Some games use the world tree as a leveling or stat-up mechanism. The symbol of the world tree has been used quite a bit, so it's no surprise that writers and storytellers had to come up with more interesting ways to portray them. Evil world trees often twist the idea of oneness and spiritual connection by by spreading corruption or absorbing everything into itself. The final form of the main antagonist Gaia is a massive tree-like being. Aoife tree was created by the main antagonist to steal souls from the planet Gaia and releases a toxic gas called the mist across the continents, causing those who breathe it to become violent. The trees are man-made organisms created to cleanse the earth of pollution. There are some instances where the world tree is depicted as existing between different worlds, with its roots in one world and its branches in another, linking every world in the multiverse together. World trees have also taken on human appearances in certain games. Grand Blue Fantasy has a character called the World Tree. Odin's Sphere has a grand reveal that the fairy queen, Mercedes, is actually the World Tree, named Yggdrasil. The Mana series features the Mana Goddess, who is the embodiment of the Tree of Mana. In Dragon Quest IX, it is revealed that the tree is the goddess Celestria. There are other sentient world trees who do not take on a human form. Nyarlim is a sentient tree that is one of the oldest living mortals in existence. Some games focus on the fruit that is produced by the world tree. The legend of Dragoon, the god of creation, created a giant tree that produced fruit that became the various species of the world. Every time Amaterasu revives a world tree sapling, a fruit grows on the Sakuya's tree. In Skyward Sword, Link grows a tree through time travel that has a fruit that can cure any ailment, which he uses to cure the Thunder Dragon's illness. In the Dragon Quest series, a Yggdrasil leaf can bring a party member back from the dead. There have been appearances of the world tree in other games that provide unique experiences. Boktai, a game which features a solar panel. You must gradually restore the strength of the world tree by playing the game itself in daylight. Tokimeki Memorial. The goal is to get the confession of love under the legendary tree. This would, according legend, ensure them eternal happiness. And so, as we've seen, the world tree is a recurring theme in many video games, taking on various forms and roles. What were your favorite world trees? Let me know if I missed any. Thank you for watching.